And we made it. It is officially the end of week 5. I have wrapped up yet another chapter of this book, and I'm so proud of myself because this is the furthest I've ever gotten into the artist way. Like previously mentioned, I've probably started this 4 times at this point. I think this is my 4th time, maybe 3rd. And chapter 5 was new to me. I haven't read it yet because I've only ever gotten to chapter 4. I feel really good about this time around since A, I already got on the furthest I've ever had in this book, and B, I am on day 49 of morning pages and I have not skipped even a single day yet. I've been super consistent, and yes, I know that the days do not align to the weeks because I actually did restart week 4. At the end of week 4, I just felt as if I was out of it for most of week 4 and didn't dedicate enough time to the artist way and really simmering on all the lessons and beautiful things that Julia Cameron notes in week 4. So I wanted just to redo it and repractice week 4 and just dedicate some more time to it to help rediscover myself. I think I mentioned this last week. It's crazy how much is aligning in my life with what Julia Cameron says will happen. I just can't believe it. I feel really good about myself. I feel more confident about myself. And maybe I don't feel like an artist yet or a creative yet. I know that will come with time, and I'll feel more grounded in it the more time I dedicate to it. It's just currently I'm in a really busy season and it's hard to dedicate as much time to it as I want, which we'll get deeper into that later in this video because that's actually something that she touches on in this chapter. I'm just feeling confident in myself because I keep showing up for myself. I think that's the biggest takeaway that I'm gathering right now is I'm feeling more confident in the things I portray to the outside world, and I'm not feeling like it's fake. It's not like I'm putting on a show for someone, because I know in the privacy of my own life I'm showing up for it myself. I'm writing in my journal every single day. I'm going to the gym almost every single day. I'm becoming a better person. I'm becoming more self-aware and realizing the negative things I do and trying to better myself. And it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm excited to see where it keeps going. But with that being said, I'm going to have a little sip of wine. And let's get into it. I'm just going to dive straight into some of my favorite things from week 5, things I underlined, some notes. So week 5 was about recovering a sense of possibility. Anything is possible, guys. Believe and you will achieve. Believe and you will achieve. Believe and you will achieve. Think about that, ponder on that, surround it, write it down, put it on a sticky note, put it on your mirror, and just believe in yourself. You got this. So week 5 just discusses some of the barriers that you will encounter or are consistently encountering in putting up for yourself that you might not even realize, and kind of how to clear those barriers away to help you unlock your inner creativity. She literally starts out this chapter with saying this: one of the chief barriers to accepting God's generosity is our limited notion of what we are in fact able to accomplish. We discount ourselves. We think negatively of ourselves. We think that dream or that thought we have is unattainable because we don't believe in ourselves. Like I said, believe and you'll achieve. And maybe it's sometimes hard to get that mindset of, yes, I could do this if I put my mind to it. But what I love about this first sentence is you don't even have to rely on yourself. You can rely on God and God's generosity. God is there to help you. You just have to ask and you shall receive. If you're not fully confident in yourself to chase these dreams of yours, just ask, rely on God, have a conversation, write it in your notes. If you don't believe in God, ask the greater being, spirituality, the universe, whatever. But just step outside of yourself and realize that there might be something greater for you, there is God, and He is there to help you. The generosity never runs out. It's limitless, and there's enough of it, and you deserve it, and you are capable of what you vision. Another sentence I loved from this chapter is, if we learn to think of receiving God's good as being an act of worship, cooperating with God's plan to manifest goodness in our lives, we can begin to let go of having to sabotage ourselves. Because sometimes we do this too. We are self-sabotagers. When it's starting to get too good, we're like, we don't deserve this. Why is life going so well? Something is going to come crashing down. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Everything's going too well. And we self-sabotage ourselves. Or things are going poorly and we just go down the rabbit hole further because you just think there's no point to life. There's no point to this. It's already going poorly. Why should I even try? Etc., etc. Don't do that. Just realize that if you're only 60% there that day, ask God for the other 40% to help you. Hey God, I don't have much energy. I don't have much passion today. I'm not feeling it today. I can only show up 30% today. Help me, give me the strength and the courage. Fill my cup and help me get through this. Even if I don't think it's to the best of my ability, just be generous enough to let me showcase your creation and your creative power in the work that I do. Just help me at this moment. That's all I ask to get this task done. And boom. Maybe you won't think it's that great in the moment, but in a week you will look back and say, wow, I'm glad I did that, and I actually love the output. Or maybe you're not even going to love that output, but you're going to be glad that you actually did it and that you showed up for yourself. That's how you build confidence, is showing up for yourself. So get rid of the scarcity mindset. Everything is in abundance. Money is in abundance. Creativity is in abundance. Everyone can be creative. That job, even though it may seem like not a lot of people have it, it's in abundance. Maybe only X amount of people can have this, but you could still be one of those people. You know what I mean? Like, just get rid of the scarcity mindset. If you have that scarcity mindset, you're never going to get anywhere because you're just going to keep believing that that is totally not for you. It's totally unattainable. You're never going to be able to get that, receive it, whatever it is. But in reality, if you don't chase after it, then how do you know that you will never get it? You have to chase after what you want. And sometimes even something better even appears. Because maybe you weren't meant to have that thing and something else appears, but at least you tried. And because you tried, typically something along the path will appear, something else that wouldn't have appeared if you didn't try. I hope that makes sense. Just remember that anything is possible, especially with the help of God. You don't want to idolize yourself or others. And another sentence that I really loved that struck deep, especially in this world and age right now with TikTok and all these aesthetics. But what Julia Cameron here says is, the desire to be worldly, sophisticated, and smart often blocks our flow. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I desire all of those things. I do want to be sophisticated. I do want to be worldly. I want to know a lot about the world and politics and globalization, other countries, and how we work together and how we don't work together. And I want to sound smart, especially at dinner conversations. I want to feel like I know what I'm talking about. I obviously don't want to be portrayed as dumb or just ignorant. So I definitely strive for these things, but you shouldn't want to be doing these things just to be viewed as that. Like, you shouldn't be creating art just to be viewed as sophisticated and smart or cool or worldly. You shouldn't be posting certain things just to portray yourself as a person that you aren't truly. You should show all of yourself, I guess. At least that's what I thought or got from that sentence. And we can't do it ourselves. If we want to become our best version of ourselves, unfortunately, we can't do that by ourselves. We have to do it through God, first and foremost. He is there to help us. But second of all, we do it through the people around us. By you putting yourself out there and pushing yourself, You might bump into someone, a stranger, and spark up a conversation about the creative pursuit that you're currently pursuing, and they may get you in contact with someone else that could help you, or they might fall in love with that piece of art you made and want to display it, or even buy it, or have someone that is looking exactly for that and wanting to sell that all online, or know someone that has all these different types of canvases and paintbrushes that are super expensive that they don't use anymore or have an abundance of, and they're looking to give it to someone, a local artist that they want to, put to use those items. And you might receive that because of you putting yourself out there. It's just always those random connections that will help you get further down the path that you're meant to be on. And just remember that you can't do it all through yourself. It's always about those random connections and those people that will help you through it. Those people are God showing up in your life, helping you realize that you should continue pursuing this. It's just you becoming your higher self in action. Creativity is a spiritual issue. Any progress is made by leaps of faith, some small and some large. At first, we may want faith to take the first dance class, the first step toward learning a new medium. Later, we may want the faith and the funds for further classes, seminars, a larger workspace, a year's sabbatical. Later still, we may conceive an idea for a book, an artist collective gallery space. As each idea comes to us, we must in good faith clear away our inner barriers to acting on it, and then, on an outer level, take the concrete steps necessary to trigger our synchronous good. And I love how Julia Cameron writes this, because the next paragraph is, if this sounds airy-fairy to you, ask yourself bluntly what next steps you are evading. What dream are you discounting as impossible given your resources? What payoff are you getting for remaining stuck at this point in your expansion? God as my source is a simple but completely effective plan for living. It removes negative dependency and anxiety from our lives by assuring us that God will provide. Our job is to listen to the how. I just want you to sit on that for a little bit, ponder on it a little bit, let it seep in. God will provide. Remember that. Don't let anything stop you. Don't think that just because you currently don't have a canvas and acrylic paint, that should stop you. You can acquire it somehow. There's thrift stores, there's art stores that resell used canvases and paintbrushes for cheap. Someone may gift it to you. Sometimes the local library has resources. It'll just somehow fall in your lap and appear. Or even maybe another medium will appear. Paper and watercolor. Who knows? Hopefully that example makes sense, but it will come. What's meant for you will be, and it will come and show up. Be open to it. Make sure you receive with gratitude, and have a daily practice, even in your morning pages, to thank for what you received that day. Be open for more. Even if you want to, ask for more. She also mentions is that this entire process of finding ourselves is a two-step process. So what you should do in the evening is ask for an answer. In the morning, during your morning pages, is listen for an answer. It definitely comes into fruition, and I've seen it happen in my morning pages, is I'll be writing. The solutions will write out themselves. Or I had this idea a month ago, and all of a sudden, today, I'm writing of how to execute that plan out of nowhere. I didn't even think about it that morning. And it just appears on my paper. So just listen for the answers. It's crazy how the morning pages work. I don't even know where sometimes those thoughts come from. And that's why it has to be a spiritual thing. Because they just appear and the answers are laid out right in front of you. Next up, she mentions how the morning pages are spiritual, and this process is spiritual, and how you're going to find yourself becoming more spiritual, which I could definitely attest to. I feel as if through this process I'm becoming closer to God, which I definitely did not expect through the artist way. I almost thought it would push me away from God in a way, and I don't know why I thought that. I think I just thought that this book might be kind of out there, super fluffy and manifestation wise a little bit, which I'm not saying manifestation doesn't work. I think you should definitely do that, but using God as a source to manifest what you want. Yeah, my soul is hungry for more God, for more Jesus. I'm becoming a happier person through this. Also, just uncovering my struggles with my faith too. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to believe, and there's so many mysteries. I know we're not meant to know them all, but it's really difficult to believe and have a strong faith. And I'm realizing that more and more throughout this process. Even though I feel like I'm getting closer to God, I also feel as if I'm kind of on a shaky foundation, and that the concrete below me can just turn into sand at any moment. So I want to build a deeper foundation. But what I do know for sure is I am becoming closer to God. I'm becoming more true to myself on the inside and on the outside, even with the way I dress and act, and how I decorate my room, and the things I'm even purchasing. I'm purchasing things with intention, really paying attention to what really is my style, things that I really like, and what will I use, versus what is something that's currently popular now that people want me to buy, or this was just like a really good marketing tactic. Is this really me? No, it may not be. But if it is, awesome, cool, I'll buy it, whatever it is. Just being more self-aware and conscious of what I'm doing, and also trying to be more frugal, because I feel as if I'm living in so much abundance and too much. I have way too much, and almost an overconsumption. And this whole process just making me want to get rid of a lot and dwindle it down, because it's almost as if it's fogging up my brain and not allowing me to see my path forward clearly, which no one can predict the future, obviously. I just feel like I just have so much to move, clear the path, and I just really need to dwindle it down. I am becoming less judgmental, open to other people's ideas and thoughts, which I feel as if I've kind of always listened to other people share their point of views, been pretty open to it, but now I feel as if I'm fine with whatever. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't feel any negative thoughts when someone is telling me their point of view, or of how can they think that, or etc, etc. I'm just like, okay, I can see where you're coming from, and I try and get in their mindset. My negative opinions of myself and others are definitely a lot less now, which also makes me want to compliment others a lot more when I see them. I feel like I used to be a huge complimenter and just sparking up random conversations with random people. For some reason I just kind of stopped over the years. I still give compliments, but it's definitely more towards the people I already know. If I see someone and I love their shirt, I want to tell them I love their shirt. Now I'm going to start complimenting people again. Here it says, dependence on the creator within is really freedom from all other dependencies. Paradoxically, it is also the only route to real intimacy with other human beings. Freed from our terrible fears of abandonment, we are able to live with more spontaneity. Freed from our constant demands for more and more reassurance, our fellows are able to love us back without feeling so burdened. Nowadays, I feel as if we get a lot of reassurance from online, social media. We post and we see those likes come in the comments, and we feel good for those few seconds or moments. Afterwards, we're left craving more, or also just feeling disappointed that, why didn't this person like this or comment, or why didn't I get more likes, and just seeking more validation and reassurance. I highly recommend doing a social media detox and not looking into people's highlight reels and not posting. I honestly feel as if you're just such a better and happier human being by doing that, because you're not constantly seeking gratification from somewhere else. The only gratification you should be seeking is from God for you. Am I able to enter the heavenly kingdom? Am I a good person? And you should only really be thinking of ethical dilemmas about yourself, about good versus evil. Only God can be the judge. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, let's move on. Even on the worst days, a small positive voice says, you could still do this, or it might be fun to do that. What I took away from this part is, even when you're having a bad day, you can still turn it around. And I've definitely taken that into account this week, because there was multiple times this week where I did not get enough sleep and I felt so groggy and feeling like I'm incapable of getting anything done and not being able to be productive. I felt my brain not being able to move at the same speed, and it just put me in a bad mood, and I didn't want to get anything done, and I just kept pushing everything off. And midday hit and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm either gonna just waste this whole day and feel irritated and negative, or I could try and turn the day around and at least get a few things done off of my to-do list, or try and improve my mood and make the day a bit more positive, because I still have 8 hours left of the day. I don't have to be miserable all day just because I woke up on the wrong side of the bed or didn't get enough sleep. Let's just try and get through the day, and I could go to bed early and I'll feel better already a few things done. So always remember that you could turn around a bad day. And remember that throughout this process, opportunities will present themselves. And it's important that you don't dismiss these opportunities. Say yes to them. Say yes to the invite that you get to a random dance class or pottery class, if that is something that interests you. Start evoking your personal style in your workplace. If you work a corporate job, don't wear a boring corporate suit if that is not who you truly are. Bring in some color. If you love the color yellow, what about getting a butter yellow suit, or incorporating pops of yellow, or some cool jewelry? Start incorporating who you are into your outer world, even with how you decorate your room. There's just so many ways to do it. Honestly, bring you a lot of happiness. You don't have to be like everyone else. For example, like a lot of people might have normal wine glasses. I love this one because it's painted and it just is a different type of beautiful, and this is what I love. Maybe other people will think this is tacky and ugly, whatever. I think it's really cute and I love it. This brings me a lot of joy, and joy always comes back to you. You could always find the small joys in little things. As we come to trust and love our internal guide, we lose our fear of intimacy because we no longer confuse our intimate others with the higher power we are coming to know. In short, we are learning to give up idolatry, the worshipful dependency on any person, place, or thing. Instead, we place our dependency on the source itself. The source meets our needs through people, places, and things. I am guilty of this. I've been trying to get rid of it. I did not used to be like this in the past, but I got into a serious relationship, which I'm still in, and I love my boyfriend so much, but I felt like I put him on a pedestal and I idolized him, and I would look to him for the source of truth, happiness, etc., etc. He is not meant to be that person to me. That's supposed to be God's job. He does not have the willpower for that, and that will just lead to an unhappy relationship. Instead, we need to be dependent on God for those things. And that's exactly what I've done in recent years, and this is what I was missing. I've even said this in the past, that this is something I'm doing and realizing, that I'm putting him on like such a pedestal that I shouldn't be putting him on. And it's not to say that he's not a great person. He's an amazing person. It's just that I shouldn't be seeking for validation in the truth and happiness from him. And the last thing that I'm going to touch on that Julia Cameron mentions in this chapter is quiet time. As artists, we all need moments of solitude and quiet time. And I struggle with this, especially in this season of life, as I mentioned, because I am so busy with work, and it's only going to get busier this week. But I only have 2 more weeks on this client, and then I have a bit more free time. But then again, I'm traveling for 3 weeks, and I'm also currently living at my parents' house, where it's really hard to have quiet time and moments of solitude, because after work they want to spend time together or help them cook or clean. It's hard. It's really hard to balance it all, and I don't really have many moments of solitude. And I found my only moment of solitude really is in the morning, writing out those morning pages. And that's why I love them so much. As an artist and as a want-to-be creator, I need more moments of solitude. And it's imperative that we have those moments. She mentions that we need the quiet time. And I definitely feel guilty taking some quiet time when I'm here. I feel selfish, but it's all about balance and moderation. You can't say yes to everything. You can't be fulfilling other people's wants or what they want from you and giving all of yourself to help them when you're not helping yourself. You need to be showing up for yourself and learn how to say no to things that you simply aren't capable of always doing. I'm not saying to deny every ask of help that someone asks you to do. That's not good either. Like I said, it's all about balance. Take some time, maybe once or twice a week, a chunk of time, maybe an evening, where it's all for you. It's to get your work done, watercolor for a few hours, or video edit, whatever it may be, and have that solitude with yourself. You need to set boundaries. And yes, others may judge you. Others may find that, you're kind of peeling away from them and why is she acting differently, but it's important that you do so. Remember that if you don't take the time for yourself, it may lead to a crash out. You're gonna start getting aggravated and irritated and taking it out on others, and then later you're gonna take it out on yourself. So you really also need these moments of solitude and gratitude to feel at peace within yourself and to be a better person for yourself and for others. The longer it goes without you spending time on the craft that you're wanting to dedicate time to, the more irritated you're just going to get naturally. Later, you might even just fully give up on that pursuit or dream, all because you didn't have a few hours a week to dedicate to alone time and spending time on it. And I'm just gonna end on this quote that really just, if you're a female, this will speak to you. This is a quote by Leslie M. McIntyre. She says, "Nobody objects to a woman being a good writer, sculptor, or geneticist if at the same time she manages to be a good wife, good mother, good looking, good tempered, well groomed, and unaggressive." But the truth of it all is, we can't manage to be all those things at once. We can't pour 100% of ourselves into each of those things. That's impossible. If one of those things is 100%, the others are all 0. You can't be good at everything. It's all about balance. I'm sorry. And if you want to become a great creative person, some other places in your life might have to lack a little. And that's not to say you have to become a bad person. It's just that you can't go above and beyond everywhere. Are you being self-destructive, or are you helping yourself pursue your dreams and your inner artist? That's it for week 5. I'll see you guys next week. Let me know how far you've gotten in the Artist Way journey, or if you finished the book and how it went for you and what you're doing currently. I would just love to hear about your passions and what's something cool you're doing this week. Let me know. Bye.